All right, back to the State House now. The press briefing at the State House with Governor Gina Raimondo set to get underway at any moment. As we can see there's the governor and other state agency leaders behind her. Let's go live now to the State House.
Thank you for being here. I'm here because we have an extreme severe winter event coming our way, and my message to the people of Rhode Island is to get prepared. We are anticipating snow to be 2 to 3 feet in accumulation, extremely high winds overnight, upwards of 60 miles an hour on the coast. And I have a simple message for the people of Rhode Island. Use today to prepare. The snow is coming, the storm is coming. It's going to be the most severe storm that we've seen in years, maybe decades. And I need you to keep yourself safe and keep your loved ones safe. We have today to prepare, so hunker down. If you have time today, I need you to make sure you have heating fuel, oil in your homes. I need you to have food, water. I need you to take care of your loved ones. Take a minute and think about who in your family or in your neighborhood might need a hand. My own mother, who's in her 80s, we called her today and we said, "Mom, pack your bags, you're staying with us tonight." I need you to think about that. Do not let loved ones be home alone. Invite them to stay with you. Help them to get prepared, get their medicines, get their flashlights. We need to be prepared for a multi-day event with 2 to 3 feet of accumulation and potentially to be without power for days. And we can't do enough. If we pull together as Rhode Islanders, and I know we'll do that, if we lend a helping hand to our loved ones, we're going to be fine and we're going to get through this. We've worked all weekend. We've been working all day today. We have full coordination between Department of Transportation, National Grid. We will be prepared, but I need the people of Rhode Island to do your part as well. In particular, I need you to stay off of the roads. We expect that the brunt of this storm will happen throughout the evening. It's going to snow throughout the day. The evening commute will be messy. This evening it'll intensify, and it'll be particularly intense through the evening, overnight. 1 o'clock tomorrow morning through the morning commute will be especially bad. We'll see feet of snow dropping overnight. I'm asking every Rhode Islander to please get off of the roads by 8 o'clock tonight. If there's any way you cannot drive, don't do it tonight. It'll keep you safe, your family safe, and it'll allow us to start plowing. Shortly after this press conference, I'll be signing an executive order issuing a state of emergency. Now, we're doing this because we believe this storm is so severe that it poses an imminent threat to the safety of our citizens. And as your governor, it is my job to protect you and to protect our property. It also enables us to activate full executive authority, including activating the National Guard if necessary, and provides for full coordination across state government. The Emergency Operations Center will open at 6 o'clock tonight and will remain open throughout the storm. We're going to be closing state government at 11 o'clock this evening, and we're issuing a travel ban starting at midnight tonight. I'm asking businesses to please be flexible. Please be flexible. This evening's commute will be messy. If you have any ability to stagger shifts, let folks go home early, please consider doing that. Consider the life and safety of your employees. As we get into the evening, it'll be, more and more risky to be on the roads. I've asked my Commerce Secretary, Stephen Pryor, to be in contact with local businesses and coordinating with all the chambers of commerce to get the word out. Let's get prepared. Stay at home, hunker down, let us do our work, plow these roads, and we will get through this and people will be safe. We're also going to be coordinating with all of the cities and towns. We've already started that. I have a call shortly with all of the mayors. They will be beginning to open their shelters, and we've already been in contact with the Red Cross to make sure that their shelters are open. I can't emphasize enough to the people of Rhode Island really how lucky we are that we have the rest of today to prepare. And I'm urging each of you to please play this one safe. Get yourself home. Get in the house. Don't be on the roads tonight. Make sure you have water, especially if you live in a coastal area. Be prepared for being without electricity for several days. This is a major winter storm. We are going to be working as hard and as furiously and in coordination as we can. But with 2 or 3 feet of snow and 60 or 70 mile-an-hour winds, it will take us days to clean up. And the more people that can stay off of the roads, especially starting at 8 o'clock tonight and through tomorrow, the better we'll be able to do our work and the safer our public safety folks will be. So in my household, we're prepared. We went out yesterday, we got our bread, we got our milk, we got our water. We got my mother coming over today. And I'd ask every Rhode Islander to do that. Now is the time, Rhode Island, to lend a hand to your neighbor, to be smart, get prepared, and know that all these people behind me are going to work hard, they're experienced veterans, and we're going to get through this. Thank you. Now I'd like the Lieutenant Governor to say a few words.
Thank you, Governor. And when my dad was living, he would always say, better safe than sorry. I think that just reinforcing the message that the governor just gave. I think that's a message that all the citizens in the state of Rhode Island should bear, a very strong warning to. So as far as the municipalities, we're very aware that it's important that the state connects in with the municipalities, and knowing that there was a call this morning at 11 o'clock with all the chief of police and all the public safety with the EMA. That will continue again. There'll be another one tomorrow and as needed during the day. And then our office, through the direction of the governor, will make sure that we're connected in with the municipalities in a real strong way. They'll know what we know as a state level, and we'll know what they know on a local level. I would just, one point that I think that needs to be made, which is very important to the public safety, is that the local parking bans are adhered to. That is a very serious matter, not only during the storm, but after the storm, in terms of making sure that the side roads of your communities are clear so emergency service can get in. And if there is need to bring the National Grid in to help service our lines, our electric lines, that would go unimpeded. So, again, better safe than sorry.
Thank you, Governor. Tim Horn from National Grid. I can't emphasize enough what the Governor and Lieutenant Governor have said about public safety. It's first and foremost in our mind for the members of the public and for our workers. We've been through this with NEMO, and everyone adhering to the guidance given by the Governor is going to help us tremendously to restore power. When we look at safety, we're going to have winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour. Safely, our crews cannot go up in those winds. Anything over 35 miles puts our folks at dire risk, and we will not be up in those areas. But to let you know, we're fully prepared for this multi-day event. We have crews coming into the state, into the region, from other parts of the U.S., as we have done in the past. We will be staging them at CCRI in Warwick, at Twin Rivers in Lincoln, as we have done in the past. So those sites are being set up right now. Our full procedures and processes are in place with our folks staffing our centers as we speak right now. So National Grid is fully prepared. We're working in collaboration, as you can see, with every entity here in the state. And I think one of the key things to be looking out for when you see the National Guard, State Police, National Grid, and the DOT out there in many convoys clearing streets, that's a key component of this, with the plows clearing the area. So staying off the roads is key, being safe is key, and National Grid is prepared. Thank you. Governor?
How many crews are coming from out of state?
It's really just to follow up what everybody else said. You have 4 teams out there, National Grid, DOT, National Guard and State Police. Stay off the roads. The message is stay home. You're putting public safety people, first responders who don't have the luxury to be home, at risk. So adhere to those, and then if the follow-up for the next day or two, make sure you stay off the roads. When the snow stops, people typically want to come out and take a look at it because it's majestic. Stay off the roads, gives us time to do our job, so make sure everybody's safe and it's a fatality-free storm. Thank you.
Sure, your question?
Yeah, how many crews are coming in from out of state?
So within New England region, with tree crews and overhead line crews, we've requested and have coming in roughly 1,000 of those crews, over 600 on the line crews, over 300 on the tree crews. Tonight we'll have 30 of those crews here in Rhode Island working through the night, with another 30 tomorrow morning ready to go. So what you see in our past storms, we start bringing them in waves. So we have this initial complement coming in to include another 100 tree crews for Rhode Island, and then as we look at the damage within the area, we'll have the flexibility to move these other crews coming into those hardest hit areas.
What are you expecting in terms of the quality of the snow, whether it will be heavy or light, and how will that impact things?
At this point, we're anticipating that it'll be a dry snow, and as I said, it could be 2 to 3 feet of snow, intensifying. The worst part of the storm will be from 1 a.m. until 10 a.m., but I want to emphasize this. It will continue to snow throughout tomorrow. Do not think that you can stay off the roads tonight, wake up tomorrow, and go into work. It's going to snow continuously all day tomorrow, and we need you to stay off the roads so our plows can plow. This is a plowing operation, not a salt operation. We do have plenty of salt, if you're wondering, but this is a plowing operation, and the rate of snowfall is going to be so intense that it's going to be very difficult for our plows to keep up. So everybody stay off the roads so we can plow as much as possible.
Governor, when did you decide you were going to sign the executive order to declare state of emergency, and what was the factor that pushed you over the edge to do that?
I decided that this morning. I've been in consultation all day yesterday, through the night and this morning with the team, and I have become convinced that due to the severity of the storm, that lives in Rhode Island are at risk, and therefore I needed the full authority and the ability to fully coordinate all state resources. So this morning when we learned we're talking about feet of snow, a historic storm, 60, 70 mile an hour winds, we got to protect the people of Rhode Island, and so we decided to do the executive order.
So Governor, practically speaking, what does that mean when you decide that executive order?
Practically speaking, that means that we have the ability now to activate the National Guard, we have the ability to access federal funding, and we have the ability to have a better coordination throughout state government. We need all hands on deck, DOT, DEM, National Guard, National Grid, all rowing in the same direction, and that's what that executive order enables us to do. Also, as I said, starting midnight tonight, there'll be a travel ban. No one should be riding on the roads at all after midnight.
That's what I wanted to get clarity on. So as of 8 p.m., you're urging people to voluntarily get off the roads. As of midnight, you're saying no traveling. Does that involve state roads, the interstate, as well as local roads? What's the expected pattern?
Yes, exactly. So to reiterate, you can see it's already started snowing. I anticipate a very messy commute this evening. The 5 o'clock rush hour, please use caution and be careful. I would like every Rhode Islander who doesn't absolutely need to be on the road to be off the road by 8 o'clock. Keep yourself safe. Now's not the time for heroics. Get off the road at 8 o'clock. And as of midnight, there will be a strict travel ban. All roads in Rhode Island, you will not be able to travel. Route 95, local roads, as of midnight until further notice, everybody off the roads.
Colonel O'Donnell, if I could ask you as a follow-up, will you actually be blocking roads? We understand Connecticut is doing that, did that last time, where they actually physically block the interstate. What will you do to set up barriers or anything else?
It's a good question. The bridges probably will be at some point in time shut down. The sustained winds at 58 miles an hour, 69 miles an hour will block the bridges. The rest of the roadways, we're not going to block them. It'd be inappropriate. You wouldn't have enough people to do that. But we're coordinating with all the New England states and the state police to do the same thing, making sure people are off the road.
I have a question for Tim.
Sure.
You brought up NEMO, a lot of people without power for a while in that storm. How do you think this storm is going to be different from NEMO, if at all? Are you preparing any differently? Did you learn anything from NEMO?
Well, we learn from every storm. When you look at NEMO with the amount of snow, we've got added preparations and procedures in place for snow clearing, for our substations, for our staging sites, and things of that nature. This is going to be a severe event. When you've got something with a long duration, with this amount of wind and this amount of snow, it's just going to beat on the system out there and really work it over. So it's going to be severe. So that's why we have people pre-positioned everywhere, working with the governor here to be prepared for it. So people need to be prepared for it, and I think you heard that message here loud and clear from everyone.
Mr. Horn, was there anything you were able to do after NEMO in terms of structurally
Well, we constantly upgrade our system. We're constantly maintaining, building new substations, upgrading our systems. When we've had floods, we've actually moved some substations, raised up some equipment. So we constantly look at the hardest hit areas. We've worked on those, we've upgraded those, but that's a constant with tree trimming and everything, and that'll continue.
Governor, this is the first time you've dealt with this sort of situation. How are you prepared to respond to this?
Well, I started preparing during the transition. During the transition, I had a tabletop exercise where we simulated actually an event very similar to this one, and we made sure that we were ready to go. Obviously, my first appointees were Pete Gaynor at EMA and the reappointment of the colonel. So I'm confident we have the team in place. We spent all day yesterday and last evening preparing. And so, as I say, we know the protocols. The National Grid has been at the table the entire time. DOT is at the table. And, you know, the state is ready. We know what we need to do. We have the team in place. I just need the cooperation of all the people in Rhode Island to get prepared today. I cannot say that enough. We know this is coming. I can't change the weather pattern. What I can do is ask every Rhode Islander and every Rhode Island business to get prepared today. Electricity, batteries, prepare for potentially several days of power outages, several days of us clearing this weather up. Give a helping hand to a neighbor. Give a helping hand to somebody who's elderly. Call your friends and family. Make sure they know it's coming. Make sure folks have water and batteries and electricity and heating fuel. If we get ready, we're going to be just fine.
Which parts of the state do you expect to be hit most hard by this storm?
We expect the north and the west to get the most snow, but we are anticipating the highest winds to be on the coast.
Director Lucy, can you talk about your preparedness? Are you all hands on deck right now in terms of personnel, equipment?
Sure. Yeah, all hands are on deck. As the governor pointed out, we've been coordinating this over the weekend. There are about 400 trucks, plows that are ready to go, about 100 state vehicles and 300 from private vendors. Salt supply is not an issue. As the governor pointed out, this is a very heavy, intense snowstorm where it's really much a plowing operation as it is a salting. So that won't be an issue. I think I just want to emphasize a key point that the governor and the colonel pointed out. Even after the plowing operation, you may look out your window and see a clean road, but there are going to be snowbanks blocking intersecting roads. You could be on the highway, there'll be snowbanks blocking the ramps. That takes time to clear off, and with this type of event, it will be snowing harder than we can plow. The storm will get ahead of us throughout the evening hours. So this, as the governor pointed out, tomorrow is a hunker down day. Give us a chance to get the plows out there, clean off the roads, and you know, it'll be fine. By the end of the week, we'll be fine.
We have time for about 2 more questions.
Could General McBride also talk about what the National Guard is going to be ready to do and the preparations there?
Yes, yes, come on up. As I said, the primary function of the executive order is to enable us to activate the Guard, and we're prepared to do that should it be necessary.
Thank you, Governor. Right now, we're taking a good hard look at what we did during Winter Storm Nemo. We developed those strike teams that you heard about a little while ago from National Grid. We partnered with the State Police, DOT, and National Grid. That worked very well for us in the past, and so right now we're looking at standing those teams up again. With the executive order, we're starting the call up to mobilize our Guard folks to bring them in to support those strike teams as we go forward. For us, as you know, many of our folks are at work today, so we'll have to call them in hopefully later today and this evening to establish those strike teams to go forward, and we'll bring them in phased in over time. So over the next couple of days, you'll see our forces build up, and you'll see more and more of them on the street supporting the operation as we go on.
Do you know how many people you're expecting?
Well, last time during the storm, we started out roughly around 90 on the first day, and we built up to close to 300 by the second and third day, and then that was adjusted based on the need for us to respond over time. With the magnitude of this storm, we anticipate it might even be higher as we look forward.
So how do you, maybe this is for the colonels, but how do you deal with people, because not everyone will comply, and will find people out of the roads after midnight? Will they be ticketed, towed, or will they just be turned around and sent home? What's the best way to handle that for General?
I'll leave that to law enforcement. We're in support of them.
Before he answers, I want every person in Rhode Island to hear my voice. Stay off the roads after midnight. If you're on the roads after midnight, you're putting your life in danger and you're endangering the lives of first responders, state police, and folks trying to plow. There'll be extreme winds. We're very likely going to close bridges. As of midnight tonight, there's a travel ban in the state of Rhode Island, and I'm asking the people of Rhode Island, keep yourselves safe. We want you. We need you. So please stay off the roads.
Okay, great. I think we're going to end now. Or sorry.
Mark, there's a reason for midnight, based on the snow, so if you're at work, stay at work. If you're at home, stay at home. To answer your question, it's a dynamic situation. We're basically asking everybody, it's against the law to be on the road after midnight. So we have the authority to arrest. There's all different ways we're doing it. We don't want to take it to that level, but we respect that everyone needs to stay off the road. That's the best message we give.